What the fuck?
Jay, bend over.
Me. Oh, jeez. Oh, shit.
Good evening, chocolatiers. Welcome back to Oktoberfest 2025. Tonight, we are talking about one of the biggest horror comebacks of the last decade, Halloween 2018. I really do hate it when they call it the same thing. Anyways, that's okay. This movie had an insane amount of pressure on it. Not only was it a sequel to the original classic, but it had to undo years of messy timelines, confusing sequels, and reboots, and somehow it did work. Halloween 2018 was the perfect modern follow-up. It was brutal, atmospheric, respectful, and was a good continuation that reminded audiences why Michael Myers will always be the Shape. So I remember when this movie was announced, I was cautiously excited. We'd seen reshoots and, multiple reboots come and go from like Rob Zombie's Halloween. And the idea of bringing Jamie Lee Curtis back one more time with Carpenter involved and a direct continuation of the 78 original, that was too good to ignore. And when I finally saw it, it delivered. It's not perfect, but definitely the most Halloween feeling movie ever since the original. So the plot completely ignores every sequel after the first one, and a lot of movies started doing this around that time. And so 40 years later, Laurie Strode is still haunted by that Halloween night. She's older, tougher, and totally paranoid, and her house is basically a booby-trapped fortress. Michael Myers, on the other hand, has been locked up in a mental institution all this time until, of course, he escapes during a prisoner transfer, because, of course, he does. From there, it's game on because Laurie's trauma meets Michael's unstoppable evil, and Haddonfield once again becomes a hunting ground. Now, Jamie Lee Curtis is very phenomenal in this movie. She isn't just the scared babysitter Laurie anymore like she was in the original. This is a woman who's lived with fear for 40 years and decided to fight back. It's trauma personified. She's broken, bitter, and dangerous, and it's pretty awesome. Her performance grounds the entire movie. You feel her pain, you feel her obsession. She's not perfect, but she is real. Judy Greer and Andy Matichak play her daughter and both granddaughter. And I actually really like their dynamic. It's generational trauma in the slasher setting. Each of them are coping differently. Each of them are connected to Michael, whether they like it or not. And then, of course, there's James Jude Courtney as Michael Myers. He's terrifying, a perfect mix of Nick Castle's slow menace and modern brutality. And every movement feels calculated. Every kill feels primal. This is Michael at his most animalistic, not supernatural, not talkative, just pure unstoppable evil. David Gordon Green really nails the balance between nostalgia and freshness. The cinematography captures Carpenter's tone, wide shots, you got some steady pacing and that eerie sense of silence. But when the violence hits, it hits hard. This movie is very mean. The kills are nasty, the sound design is visceral, and yet it never really goes too far into exploitation. And the score, my God, the score. Carpenter came back to compose it with his son, and it's easily one of the best horror soundtracks in decades. That new version of the classic theme still gives me chills. What I love about this movie is how it reframes Laurie's story. She's not a victim anymore, she's a survivor. She's shaped or maybe scarred by what happened, and the movie really treats that seriously. It's about how trauma lingers, how fear changes you, and how vengeance can consume you. And Michael might be the killer, but Laurie's been living in her own personal hell for 40 years. And that's really what gives this movie its emotional edge, because it's not just another slasher, it's psychological catharsis through horror. You got some really great standout scenes here as well. You got the tracking shot where Michael moves through houses on Halloween night, and it's very simple but also very terrifying. You have the Laurie versus Michael showdown in the house, both the trap, suspense, and the fire. It's the kind of finale the series always deserved. And then that final shot, the burning basement, Laurie's heavy breathing, the idea that evil never really dies is pure perfection. Now, it's not flawless. Some of the humor doesn't really land, like, for example, those cops with the sandwich talk. Didn't need it. A few side characters are very weak, and there are moments where you can feel the studio movie creeping in, but overall, this is about as strong as a comeback as you could even ask for. It brings Halloween back to its roots, and it gives you that tension, that atmosphere, and the raw fear of the original. Halloween 2018 is everything a legacy sequel should be. It honors both the original, expands on it, and it updates for a new generation without really losing the soul of what made it great. It's both scary, emotional, and beautifully crafted. It's a worthy return to Haddonfield. And so with that, it's an excellent modern slasher and one of the best horror reboots ever made. It's one of my favorite films to watch around this time of year. That's another one off the list for Oktoberfest 2025. Comment down below, let me know where Halloween 2018 ranks for you in the series, and did it live up to the hype for you when you first saw it? If you're enjoying Oktoberfest 2025, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell, because evil never dies, and neither does this marathon. And with that, tomorrow, we're getting into that Halloween kills. So tune in for that, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.